Are you wanting high-speed internet but don't have access to PUD fiber? Try Sky-Fi high-speed wireless internet from LocalTel. Call 888-8888 today.
Good Wednesday evening and welcome to the NCW Life Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window where we enjoyed beautiful blue skies early this morning till about noon, increasing clouds then throughout our day as we take a look at the beautiful Columbia River from our Sky-Fi camera. And yeah, clouds out there just ahead of a storm system that will move in tonight and affect us tomorrow as well. And we will see mainly windy conditions as this front passes by on Thursday and into Friday. We'll see gusts not quite to 30 to 35 miles an hour. That will be windiest as you can see over the basin area, but we'll see wind gusts to around 25 miles an hour on Friday. But I'll tell you, travel in the Cascades, we could see gusts between 65 and 75 miles per hour on Thursday night and into Friday. We'll tell you about more about that coming up in weather. And now a few of the news stories we're following for you tonight. Opposition is mounting in regard to a proposed adventure park in Leavenworth, and increased patrols begin on Washington highways beginning tomorrow in preparation for Washington State University's upcoming spring break. But first, we begin tonight. The future of new dual roundabouts in East Wenatchee is now dead after city officials were recently told by the Washington Department of Transportation that the project is $1 million over budget. The dual roundabouts were planned at 9th Street and Highway 28, as well as the intersection at 9th and Valley Mall Parkway. At a recent East Wenatchee City Council meeting, Mayor Steve Lacey expressed his frustration with WSDOT.
Now that I'm hearing that WSDOT has revised their assessment of cost of this overall project by as much as $1 million, I just don't see the feasibility of that contract anymore, number one. Number two, not to disparage WSDOT, but I'm about to. I am disappointed in the position that WSDOT is taking vis-a-vis the city about their concern. They're now saying, as I understand it, that it really wasn't their desire or preference to have roundabouts down here. And I sat here with many of you over a year ago when they came in and told us the exact opposite.
Mayor Lacey went on to urge City Council members to terminate the contract with the Department of Transportation regarding the new roundabouts so the city won't be on the hook for an extra $1 million. I
think it's disingenuous, and I want to be on record as saying that. They apparently have had second thoughts about whether or not these roundabouts are something they want to do in light of the problems they've had with the roundabout at 5th Street that has resulted in some traffic problems and complaints and has caused them to go back and want to reassess that issue in terms of how that would be affected if they went ahead and built out these roundabouts. I have some ideas of my own, which I won't espouse here tonight, about what they did wrong on 5th Street. But the bottom line is the people that would end up taking it in the shorts on this thing would be the citizens of East Wenatchee if they had to bear another $1 million of this cost. So I'm encouraging you to act to authorize me to initiate termination of this agreement.
The council did in fact vote to terminate the agreement with the Washington State Department of Transportation, and said the city has grant funding for a traffic signal at 9th Street and Valley Mall Parkway of just over $313,000. Well, there's a movement in Leavenworth to scuttle a developer's plan to create an adventure park on the west end of town. An online petition was started on the website change.org to stop the project, citing parking and traffic concerns. Organizers complain that the theme park would destroy the beauty of the Bavarian theme village and change its course forever. The project is being developed by John Sutherland, who presented his plans to the City Council last week. The park would be located on a 10-acre parcel of newly city annexed land on Icicle Road that Osprey Rafting currently occupies. Sutherland says he welcomes the community's involvement in the project. He says it will be thoroughly vetted through the state's Environmental Protection Act, which he says will include an assessment of traffic impacts.
And again, that involves many studies, including traffic and working through the environmental processes. And there are several periods of public comment that are written into that period. So we look forward to hearing what people think about the project during that, and hopefully we'll be able to move forward.
Sutherland says if approved, the park, which features Washington State's first alpine coaster ride, could be ready for operation by June. Meanwhile, project opponents have collected over 3,300 signatures on the petition, which will be presented to the City Council for consideration. Washington State is poised to reestablish a state office of tourism after the Senate passes a bill that creates a private-public partnership to fund the program. The bill has been in the works for a couple of years. 12th District Representative Kerry Condata introduced the bill last year, and he talked about it with NCW Life News Director Steve Hare.
So we put together a new program. We think it's politically feasible. We're getting good buy-in. It's a simple $5 million investment, $5 million out of billions that we spend to leverage about $30 million in revenue. That is a very worthwhile investment.
Okay, so what kind of a reaction are you getting from the industry, which has to really kind of pump up the revenue part of this?
Yeah, and to sell this, we have to have kind of a 2-to-1 match where the industry is going to put up $10 million against the state's $5 million, and they're going to have to step up to the plate because it's a use it or lose it kind of bill.
The measure, as first introduced, has changed since it was first proposed last year. The new tourism agency was approved by the Senate on Monday. Washington State is one of only a few states that don't have a central tourism agency. The bill is now awaiting the governor's signature. Well, in a press release earlier today, the Washington State Patrol says additional troopers will be on patrol beginning Thursday to ensure safe travel during Washington State University's upcoming spring break. Students should expect to see increased presence, especially on State Route 26 and State Route 195. Troopers will be focusing on collision-causing violations such as speeding, unsafe passing, distracted driving, and impaired driving. State Patrol also says motorists should always be prepared for changing road and weather conditions. Students who become drowsy while driving across the state should stop and rest. Drowsy driving crashes are extremely dangerous and can often be fatal. Well, coming up next, bump stocks for guns will soon be outlawed in Washington State, and a 12-year-old Leavenworth area boy faces charges of felony harassment after he allegedly made threatening comments at school. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCW Life Evening News.
Hi, I'm Cordell Schroeder, owner of East Wenatchee Mobile Storage.
If you're thinking about making a move anytime soon, check out the East Wenatchee Mini Storage brand new mobile storage service. They drop it off at your location, you pack it, and they pick it up and store it in their protected warehouse at East Wenatchee for as long as you need. When you're ready, they'll drop it off at your new home or office. East Wenatchee Mini Storage is excited to offer this brand new service to our region.
Call 509-884-8643 or find us on the web at ewministorage.com.
Hello, Wenatchee Valley. Christian Shaman here with Bay Equity Home Loans.
Let us make your dream of home ownership a reality. We're here to guide you through the loan process every step of the way. Check out our convenient online application. Bay Equity Home Loans in Wenatchee, your home for loans.
Stop on by or give us a call today.
Here at Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, we are motivated to sell you your next vehicle. Whether it's new or used, we have a great selection of all-wheel drives, pickups, sedans, minivans, and muscle cars. With huge rebates and incentives on new and competitive pricing on used, there is no need to go out of town to buy. So here's to a great 2017 here at Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram.
Get a nice surprise today at Town Chrysler Family Store.
Welcome back. In another news, bump stocks, the devices that essentially turn a semi-automatic gun into a machine gun, will soon be outlawed in the state of Washington. Governor Jay Inslee signed a bill yesterday prohibiting the sale and use of bump stocks, which are a devastating tool in the hands of a mass shooter. The perpetrator of the deadliest shooting in U.S. history used bump stocks last year on the Las Vegas Strip killing 58 people and injuring hundreds more. The bill Inslee signed makes it a crime to manufacture, sell, purchase, own, furnish, assemble, repair, loan, transport, or possess bump stocks in Washington. The legislation, Senate Bill 5992, also increases the prison sentence for someone who uses a bump stock while committing a felony. The new law directs the Washington State Patrol to create a bump stock buyback program that allows people to relinquish their bump stocks in exchange for $150 per device. Washington State Patrol will run the program in coordination with local police agencies. Beginning July 1st, 2019, law enforcement officials who encounter bump stocks can seize them immediately. Well, the bill banning rifle bump stocks that was approved by the legislature this week was not supported by lawmakers representing North Central Washington. House Representatives Carrie Condata and Mike Steele both voted against the bill. They explained this week on NCW Life's The 12th District program that they would prefer the state address the root causes of school violence and making campuses safer.
Well, I think there's kind of a short run and a long run to this. I think in the long run, we've got to figure out what's changed. The guns have been around for 40, 50 years. They've been around forever. What's changed is the attitudes of our young people and the mental health of our young people. And I think we've got to look at what's driving those changes, anything from video games to the drugs to whatever it is out there that's driving this. But short term, we need to take action. And that action, to me, is to get some defense in the schools. We tried to do that here. We couldn't get it to go. Other folks think it's a gun situation, but that's going to take time. And I don't think we have time with these situations unfolding. We need to do a short-term fix, which is get some protection in the schools, and then determine what it is that's changed societally that is creating this issue in the past 10 or 15 years. So it's a short-term, long-term situation. We don't seem to be able to get fixes for either one of them right now, and that's a little bit of a shame.
You know, in the meantime, we are working really hard. I think that both Representative Condata and I both recognize that we need to make our schools safer. We went through the Education Committee and passed out a bipartisan bill that would create an application, an app, if you will, for your phones that students can report anonymously anything that they're seeing on social media or hearing in the hallways, and it gets instantaneous response from 911 or the school administration or both, depending on the severity of the issue. And that passed out of the Education Committee unanimously, and we did pass that off the floor. So, I mean, we're taking steps. It's, you know, you just don't get that stuff reported in the media because it doesn't sell the headlines like banning bump stocks or dealing with assault rifles. So there are things happening and good conversations occurring, and we recognize how important this conversation is. It just doesn't always get reported very accurately.
Meanwhile, in the Senate, 12th District Senator Brad Hawkins also voted against the bump stock ban. A 12-year-old Leavenworth area boy faces charges of felony harassment after he allegedly made threatening comments to a fellow Cascade School District student last week. The Wenatchee World reports the Chelan County Sheriff's Office was notified by the school district that the boy asked the other student, quote, "Hey, do you want to help me shoot up the school?" unquote. The boy was expelled from school and subsequently arrested and held overnight at the Chelan County Juvenile Jail. The World reports the boy told deputies the comments were made as a joke and that he had no intentions to carry out the threat. He was not armed, but authorities say he did have access to firearms at his parents' home. The boy will be arraigned on March 15th in Chelan County Juvenile Court. You're watching the NCW Life Evening News. Coming up next, your sports update with Eric Granstrom and our features story tonight. That and much more still to come on the NCW Life Evening News. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Blair from Works, your workout prescription. Have you ever started an exercise program and then struggled to keep it going? So what if I told you that with this MyZone device, I could increase your chances of self-motivated exercise adherence by over 200%. Combine that with an exercise prescription specifically for your level of readiness, we'll increase it even more. And that's our new member success system. It's $99. It's exclusively at Works. It includes your MyZone belt. Works. YourWorkoutRx.com.
Lake Wenatchee YMCA camp programs focus on our 4 core values of caring, honesty, respect, and responsibility. Make this summer's memories last a lifetime. Pick your theme week today with a wide variety of safe and engaging activities. Lake Wenatchee YMCA Camp is the ultimate summer fun in the sun camp for children, teens, and families. Reserve your child's week today.
Thursday night, hockey night on the NCW Life Channel. It all begins at 7 o'clock with a call of the Wild and Clarkie's Corner. Then it's non-stop hockey action with a voice of the Wild, Arch Ecker. Join us as the Wild battle the rest of the BCHL. Thursday night is hockey night on the NCW Life Channel.
And now it's a sports update on the NCW Life Channel.
And a good Wednesday. The Wenatchee Wild were in Merritt last night for Game 3 of their first-round BCHL playoff series with the Centennials. A scoreless first period. Let's go to the second. Arch Ecker had the call on the Wenatchee Wild Hockey Network, the video courtesy of Hockey TV.
Rockets a pass over on the far side. Now in front for Arnold. He shoots, save made, rebound, score! Cooper Zek knocking home the rebound. Back over to the midpoint from Monroe, and his crossing pass gets deflected into the corner. Court walks out in front. Shot. Well, the referee didn't signal it was a goal. The light went on. And the Sens celebrating. Weatherby's there. Out in front and rolled it right through the crease. Souter will chase it down. Back to the point for Zach. Tip, score! Jasper Weatherby with the redirection. Cooper Zek firing the shot from the left point. And Jasper Weatherby standing right there at the glove side of Berger. Got a stick on it, chips it home. And the Wild retake the lead 2-1. It's going to be picked up by Zek, and he'll walk into the zone. He's in, shoots, he scores! Cooper Zek, and then he caught a high stick up around the neck after the fact. But Zek picked up the puck in open ice, just stepped in, split through the D, and just rifled the shot high. And a clean face-off win comes back to Monroe. Shoveled over, shot, tipped, loose, puck, score. Souter cuts into the zone, across, shot, he scores! Lucas Souter with a nice drag moved into the zone, cut across. Vanderbeck will dig it out, though. Up high for Demon. He shoots, he scores! Slava Demon rips the top corner. And here come the Centennials with a pass over on the right side. Goslin tries to hop in. Back across, shot, and a score. Stocky from Goslin. Save made, rebound. Zorn shoots, and he scores! And cleared up off a body of Wicks. And chipped out to center. Vanderbeck is there, guides it ahead. Slapped by Weatherby over to the near boards. But Risto comes up with it, fires it in, punched away by Park. To the end wall it goes, and the time expires.
So a Wild finish. The Wenatchee Wild take a 3-0 lead in that best-of-7 series. They'll try to wrap it up tonight with a sweep at 7 o'clock. Well, the Ichiro watch is over. Mariners announced at a press conference today the 44-year-old is again an outfielder for the Mariners. GM Jerry DiPoto and Ichiro's longtime interpreter Alan Turner were there.
Probably don't need to spend too much time introducing the man to my left. But I will say one of the best players in the history, not just of the Seattle Mariners, but in baseball, the worldwide baseball. 4,358 hits, which I think is a phenomenal number, more than any other player who's ever played anywhere. The only member of the 2,000 hit club in Japan and the 3,000 hit club in MLB, an MVP, a Rookie of the Year, and we are thrilled to welcome back home Ichiro Suzuki.
2012年
July of 2012, I said goodbye to Seattle, and of course I went to New York and Miami. But even in the off season when I would go back to Japan, I always came back to Seattle. This was my home. You know, I think everybody hears that I want to play until I'm 50, but I want to make sure everybody understands that I always say at least 50. So I just want to make sure that everybody understands that.
At least 50. Wow, how about that? Ichiro once again back in the Seattle Mariners uniform. That's sports. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Eric. Great news there. Time now for tonight's feature story. Wenatchee High School Theater's spring play, The Wedding Singer, opens tomorrow night. We spoke with cast members Mason Atwood and Eloise Sheets, as well as director Paul Atwood, about this year's show.
Come here, you're going to enjoy some really good theater from really talented kids.
I had to learn how to play guitar, so that's an experience.
Well, I love Drew Barrymore. I feel like everyone does. Yeah, she's just a waitress and she wants to be married, and I feel like that's hard because obviously I'm only 18, I'm not engaged, I'm not getting married.
It's like the movie, but it doesn't have all the songs that are in the movie. It's all original music, but the music that is in the show sounds like 80s music. So, and I have even some of the band members like, Stan and well, Angela Richmond is the orchestra director, and so they're all of my age or older or younger, and so it's kind of like reliving my youth in a way, and it's been a lot of fun.
It's been a good experience so far. I mean, I really haven't had a show that I didn't like that we've done, and even if it's a show that not necessarily a lot of people know and not a lot of people go to, it's still a lot of fun to just put on a new face every year and try something new.
This is something that they can do for the rest of their life and do. I've always considered this as a service to our community, and bringing fun, laughter, education, and like and art imitates life, vice versa. So, and this one has there's a lot of meaning in this show. I thought, oh, it's a big fluffy, fun one, but if you can read a lot in between the lines here, and there's a lot of heart and soul, and it's one of these shows that I think will stand the test of time. It'll just keep on going on, and yeah, it's in the 80s, but it can totally stand true today.
Again, tickets are on sale now, and the opening performance kicks off tomorrow night at 7:30, followed by more performances this weekend and next weekend. A programming note, Director Paul Atwood will be joining Dan Koontz tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with more on the upcoming show. We'll be back in just a moment with the recap of some of today's stories and your complete local weather forecast right after this.
Lake Chelan mailboxes find solutions and the best price for all your shipping needs, including UPS, FedEx, and the U.S. Postal Service. We offer a variety of services including quality copies of all sizes, faxing, scanning, sending and receiving email, laminating, and notarizing. Enjoy browsing through our large selection of greeting cards. Lake Chelan mailboxes supports our military, fire victims, and our community. Come see us at the Plaza in Lake Chelan.
The Cottage Inn has been a Wenatchee Valley landmark since 1940, making it one of the longest-running locally owned restaurants around. And it's better than ever. Steak, seafood, and their famous homemade desserts for dinner, wonderful lunch items, and breakfast on Sundays, all made from scratch and at an affordable price. It's no wonder the Cottage Inn has been so popular for over 75 years. Enjoy a fabulous meal today at the Cottage Inn on Easy Street in Old Station.
Papa Murphy's presents a fresh take on unbaked. Who wants an unbaked pizza? You do. Because unbaked means unprocessed dough and unfrozen vegetables, all prepared fresh by us. So the difference between a pizza fresh from your oven and one pulled from a greasy delivery box? Unreal. The smell? Unbelievable. Leftovers? Unlikely. Home bake a large Papa's all meat with Canadian bacon, salami, pepperoni, Italian sausage, and ground beef. Just $12. Papa Murphy's. Love at 425 degrees.
And now a recap of our top story tonight. The future of new dual roundabouts in East Wenatchee is now dead after city officials were recently told by the Washington Department of Transportation that the project is $1 million over budget. The dual roundabouts were planned at 9th Street and Highway 28, as well as the intersection at 9th and Valley Mall Parkway. At a recent East Wenatchee City Council meeting, Mayor Steve Lacey expressed his frustration with WashDOT.
Now that I'm hearing that WashDOT has revised their assessment of cost of this overall project by as much as $1 million, I just don't see the feasibility of that contract anymore, number one. Number two, not to disparage WashDOT, but I'm about to. I am disappointed in the position that WashDOT is taking vis-a-vis the city about their concern. They're now saying, as I understand it, that it really wasn't their desire or preference to have roundabouts down here. And I sat here with many of you over a year ago when they came in and told us the exact opposite.
Mayor Lacey went on to urge City Council members to terminate the contract with the Department of Transportation regarding the new roundabouts so the city won't be on the hook for an extra $1 million.
I think it's disingenuous, and I want to be on record as saying that. They apparently have had second thoughts about whether or not these roundabouts are something they want to do in light of the problems they've had with the roundabout at 5th Street that has resulted in some traffic problems and complaints and has caused them to go back and want to reassess that issue in terms of how that would be affected if they went ahead and built out these roundabouts. I have some ideas of my own, which I won't espouse here tonight, about what they did wrong on 5th Street. But the bottom line is the people that would end up taking it in the shorts on this thing would be the citizens of East Wenatchee if they had to bear another $1 million of this cost. So I'm encouraging you to act to authorize me to initiate termination of this agreement.
The council did in fact vote to terminate the contract with WashDOT and said the city has grant funding for a traffic signal at 9th Street and Valley Mall Parkway of just over $313,000. Time now for a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. And before we get to the details of that, let's once again take a look outside our weather window where we had a sunny start to the day and then increasing clouds throughout the afternoon. And now we're mostly cloudy just ahead of a storm system that's moving up from the southwest. And as I mentioned, after a mostly sunny start to our Wednesday with very mild high temperatures, our next weather system is nearing the Pacific coast and is moving in quickly from the southwest. You can see that on our satellite loop. While it's nicely wrapped up, it's also pretty ragged, which means any shower activity late today and early tonight will be scattered. The main precipitation from this system will actually come with the upper low itself on early Thursday afternoon and will mainly be in the form of scattered showers rather than widespread all-day rain. We have 40% chance of showers tonight and on Thursday. And then behind this weather system on Friday, we'll see some breezy conditions in the Wenatchee Valley with winds around 10 to 20 miles per hour, gusting up to 25 miles an hour. High winds will also make mountain travel hazardous on Thursday night and Friday, with winds expected to reach 60 to 75 miles per hour. We will see the beginning of a very nice weather pattern by this weekend with mostly sunny skies, high temperatures in the mid-50s on Saturday and Sunday, warming to the upper 50s to around 60 degrees on Monday and Tuesday. Let's look at that forecast now, and tonight will drop down to 34 degrees with a chance for PM showers. Showers overnight and on Thursday and 52 your high. Then the nice weather comes on Friday. Even though we will see windy conditions Friday, it will be 56 degrees, 52 and mild on Saturday, all the way back up to 56 on Sunday, and then 58 and maybe, just maybe even higher than that on Monday and Tuesday, with mostly sunny skies Monday, turning mostly cloudy on Tuesday. And a reminder, if you have a video of the day you'd like to see on the NCW Life Evening News, message us on our Facebook page at the NCW Life channel. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. Also, keep it right here on the NCW Life channel tomorrow morning for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with host Dan Kuntz and News with Steve Hare. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.
Get the fastest internet available in North Central Washington by switching to LocalTel and get speeds up to 1,000 meg. Call 888-8888 today or go online to localtel.net.